Welcome to Confident Connections, the podcast that helps you show up with confidence and connect with people on a deeper level. I'm Lisa Liu, and here we break down the small signals that create big impact, body language, presence, and the simple habits that help you communicate with ease, increase your influence, and magnify your impact. You'll learn how to make strong first impressions, build trust faster, and feel more confident in any conversation or setting. If you're ready to improve your communication skills and create connections that move your life and your leadership forward, you are in the right place. Hey, sweet friend, welcome to the Confident Connection podcast. Hey, did you know that your head position in a conversation matters a lot and speaks a whole lot about your confidence? Did you know that? I think this is so fascinating. Of course, I think all these topics are fascinating. It's why I'm doing this podcast. Look, your head position absolutely matters. Think about someone you've talked to and they have a constant tilt the entire time they're talking to you and you're talking to them. First of all, the first thing that pops to my mind is your neck okay? Like, do you have a crick, right? But what our subconscious picks up on is you're not very confident. A head tilt can be incredibly warm unless it sits there too long. Then it becomes perceived as a lack of confidence and potentially a lack of competence, not what we want, not how we want to be perceived at all. So here's what I want you to pay attention to this next week. I want you to pay attention to the position of your head when you're talking. When your head is neutral, this is a very confident presence, okay? We don't want to stay here though. A still straight up and down head constantly is just as bad as a constant head tilt. A constant head tilt comes across as unconfident, but a completely straight up neutral head position constantly comes across as aloof, intimidating, or just out of touch, right? Like you're a robot. So what we want is to strike that balance. So here's what I want you to think about. Now, you may have a leaning one way or another. If you're like, oh yeah, I feel like I tilt my head all the time. Or you think, oh, I don't know, I do feel like I'm neutral all the time. You may also be thinking, I feel like I'm a good mix of both. Amazing. I just want you to pay attention this week. If we don't think about these things, if we're not intentional, we don't know what it's like on the other side of ourselves. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it like on the other side of me? And I always want to encourage you to ask somebody you trust to be honest and kind, right? We don't want to ask people who are just brutally honest and ugly, their opinion, but someone who's going to be honest and kind. What is it like on the other side of me? What do I look like? What is your perception of me when you're talking to me? Do I look engaged? Do I look interested in what you're saying, or do I look aloof? Do I look unconfident? Do I look like I'm unsure of myself, or do I look confident? So we want that to strike that balance. Here's how we do that. Quality meat raised humanely is really important for me and my family, and we've been using ButcherBox for a long time now. They have 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken cuts, humanely raised pork, and wild-caught salmon, burgers, sea scallops, and smoked salmon as well. Every box is fully customizable and their shipping is free. If you would like a discount on your first order, use the code LisaLou and go to lisalouimpact.com/meat. That's lisalouimpact.com/meat and use the code LisaLou for a discount off of your first order. So we want to get good at micro nods, okay? Micro nods are just these little small, every now and then, it's not a bobblehead, but every now and then that makes sure that the person that is talking to us, so this is usually when we're just listening, that they understand, keep going, I'm listening, okay? And an occasional head tilt literally positions your ear closer to their mouth and tells them, I want to hear what you have to say, that you're important to me. Your words are important to me. That is a subconscious signal, which is great. We just don't want to get stuck there. So make sure that you're just intentional about it's okay to be straight up and down for a while. Make sure every now and then you're doing the micro nod. And from time to time, tilt your head a little bit and make sure that you're listening to them. Here's what I want you to understand about this. This may all feel or sound very mechanical, like, oh, okay, nod now, tilt now. Wait, I've been tilted too long, head straight up. I get it. I really do get how it can sound. But here's what I want you to understand. It is a muscle just like any other thing that at the beginning you just have to practice. And if these are things you've never thought about before or you have been told, I don't know, you don't come across as very confident or you seem a little aloof, we may have some self-assessing to do. Even if you've never been told those things, do you feel that way sometimes? So that's what I want you to focus on. That's your challenge for this week, is to notice your head position. Make sure you are striking the balance of both confidence, which is a stillness, a presence, more of a just a straight up and down, but that you're also nodding appropriately and at the appropriate times as they're talking to be sure they feel heard, and occasionally tilting the head to make sure they know I hear you and you're important to me. Your communication tip for this week is to replace your filler phrases. And the one that I want to call out this week, because there's a bunch, I want you to quit saying sorry. If you find yourself saying sorry, even when it's not an actual apology, like, oh my gosh, I know several people, but there's one in particular that no matter what she says, I'm sorry. It's almost like, hey, or and, I don't know, like a word you would say all the time. She says the word sorry. So we want to be careful because sorry is an apology and it should be used at the appropriate times, which is when you are apologizing for a wrong done, either intentionally or unintentionally. Sorry is not for you go to reach for a spoon at the same time somebody else is reaching for that spoon and you say, I'm sorry. You go, oh, you can have the spoon. I'll grab another one. That's not a time for sorry. Notice if you're saying it too often and stop, because it is crushing the way you're being perceived and it's making you look unconfident and incompetent. Incompetent. Okay? All right. That's what I have for you this week. Thank you so much for being here. If you find value in these podcasts, please do me a favor and share it with a friend. I can't wait to see you next week. Until then, make sure your next connection is your best connection. Bye for now.